I've come to realize just how powerful the mind actually is and how you can train your brain to reframe any narrative that it is being told. So you are the product of your environment. Hi. So thanks again for joining me on another episode of the Breaking Through Adversity podcast. Today's episode, I'd really love to talk to you all about the law of attraction, what it is, and how it impacts our thinking and our behaviours. So, I've spoken to many, many businesses about this in the past. And I've got to tell you, the response is a lot like Marmite. You either love the idea or you hate it. And some will say it's all a bit airy-fairy. And I'll be totally honest with you. Up until a couple of years ago, I was exactly the same. I was one of those people that thought it was a bit wishy-washy, yeah, whatever. But over this past year, especially for me, I've come to realize just how powerful the mind actually is and how you can train your brain to reframe any narrative that it is being told. So you are the product of your environment, right? And we have all heard the phrase that you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. This is because the personalities, attitudes, values, and behaviours of this group of people all inevitably rub off on you. And I guess if I was to give you a real life example of this, I suppose it would be the idea of getting in with the wrong crowd at high school, which you often hear associated with adolescents and teenagers. And this is because the influence of those 5 particular people rub off on you. And if they are doing things that you wouldn't ordinarily do, the peer pressure and the influence of those people gets to you and you end up changing your behaviours to fit in with that crowd. So I talk a lot about building a like-minded community for yourself. And now this does go for life in general, but I'd like to discuss this specifically within business and how this can be a major factor in overcoming any challenges that you might face within your business, which is, of course, the main focus of this particular podcast. So what I really want to discuss is how does the law of attraction actually work? Now, our minds have got both a conscious and a subconscious level. You've got the ability to think with your conscious mind, and the subconscious is not something that is very, very easy to change or control, but the thoughts that you think control the vibration frequency that you're in. Now, stay with me for this one, okay? So, a vibration is nothing but an idea. It's a law of the universe, if you will. And the theory is that everything in life vibrates and nothing rests. So primarily, it's the thoughts that you are thinking that you can impress upon your subconscious mind. And it is then that controls the vibration that your body is in. That vibration that your body is in then dictates not only how you act, but it also dictates what you attract into your life. Now, as a rule of the thumb, you attract energy that is in harmony with you, and you attract people that are in harmony with you. So you've ever heard the saying that people want to be around happy, smiley people. Why? Because it makes them feel happy and smiley, and potentially it can alter the vibration frequency that they're on. Okay. So everything operates on frequencies. There's an infinite number of frequencies. Okay. So we all operate on one frequency, kind of like a radio station, I guess. So the only music that you attract is the music that is tuned in to the vibration frequency that you're in. You can't tune into a radio station that is a classic radio station and expect rock music, because that's on a different frequency, okay? You get where I'm going with this? But you can change your thinking. So if you keep attracting what you do not want in your life, all is not lost, because you can change it. Okay, so your subconscious mind is the emotional part of our brain. Changing those thoughts are really, really difficult. Sorry, I never said it was going to be easy, but it's really difficult because it makes us feel uncomfortable. It's like stepping out of the box. It's doing things differently. And come on, let's face it. We don't like change, do we? Change is uncomfortable. We like to go and not rock the boat. We don't challenge the status quo. We just carry on. We do everything. We don't like to mix things up very often because it is very, very uncomfortable, okay? So, for example, people that live with a scarcity mindset will continue to attract limitation because they have attracted those self-limiting beliefs, and that is the vibration frequency that they're on. And now, you may hear of people spiraling. We hear it quite a lot, and we certainly have heard it over the last few years, haven't we? And the principles of this are exactly the same. So those who spiral focus mainly on the problems and challenges which have got negative vibrations associated to them. This then attracts more negativity, and that then feels like things are snowballing, and this is where the feeling of spiraling comes from. And it feels very overwhelming. But if you were to approach this same set of challenges with a positive mindset and focusing on the positive outcomes, then subconsciously you would start to attract more positivity. Now, this is where I come out of my comfort zone, okay? Because I'm going to give you a personal example from my last 12 months in business. So, over the past 12 months within my business, I have faced many false allegations, defamation. I have been up against trial by media. I've been blackmailed within my business. I've been hounded by journalists, even to the point of me going on a little holiday break, ended up in the local newspapers, a witch hunt, if you like. So it's been hard. Okay, none of this is easy. But I could quite easily have focused solely on that. What did I do to deserve this? Why is it happening to me? I could have felt like giving up because it feels so overwhelming. And it kind of felt at times like, should I just walk away from my business? And everything that I've worked so hard for over the past 11 years of being in business. So instead of doing that, I looked at what positive experiences and outcomes I could gain from the negatives. I sought out peers who had the same values and approach as me. And you know what? The people that I've found in the last 12 months have been so much more closely aligned with me that I've attracted the right person since being able to change the frequency, the vibration frequency that I was on. I celebrated small wins, such as being able to take a small step back from the day-to-day running of my business, which enabled me to focus instead on growth of my business, despite the challenges that I faced in the past 12 months. Okay, so I grew my online network by increasing my online presence. And yeah, as I said, I found most of my new network were so much more closely aligned with myself, which then pushed me further out of my comfort zone and indeed led to me launching this podcast, for example. So there are so many positives to be gained out of any negative experience. Now, there are still, sadly, some ongoing battles. However, now that I have found a way to reframe any negative into a positive, this no longer holds me back in the way that it might have done previously. I'm no longer afraid to take a risk because of the potential challenge that might result from that. So growth does not come from remaining in your comfort zone. Growth comes from changing things that aren't working and having the courage to change things that aren't working. Having the accountability for yourself. There's nothing to be ashamed of. If something's not working, go and fix it. It doesn't define you. And gaining new perspectives. And once you've managed to achieve this, guess what? You are literally unstoppable, because this can then be applied to any negative situation ever that you might have crop up in your business. Anytime an obstacle or challenge crops up in your business, you've now got the tools to equip you to turn that into a positive. So the very fact that I had negative experiences actually pushed me so far outside of my comfort zone and enabled me to attract different people into my network, different experiences, and to change the vibration frequency that I had in my subconscious mind. And as they say, there is always a silver lining. There is always a way to find a positive outcome to any challenge whatsoever. And changing the vibration frequency of your subconscious mind will enable you to do this and to also find a like-minded community who can support you to find that silver lining when you're struggling. It's not always easy, and sometimes you have to look really, really hard to find that silver lining. But building that like-minded community is only going to strengthen that and support you in being able to find it. But remember, the most important takeaway from this is that no challenge in your life or in your business is unsurmountable. There is always a path out of the other side. You are always going to get through it. And I really, really hope that today's podcast you found interesting and valuable. I would love it if you could reach out to me if you'd like to chat anymore or to give me your opinions. I'd really, really love to hear your thoughts. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And I'd really like to just say thank you for tuning in again.